Hello everyone, welcome to the Museum of American Finance. This video is to show you how to book a reservation for group admission. Individual admission, you just come in on your own. So I'm going to go ahead and get us to the website, moaf.org. And so here is the main website. And what you can do is you can just click on education right here, and you'll see the total education page. Again, so this is about group admission, which will be right over here. So we do have a couple of caveats. The first thing is that if you want to book in advance, right, you need to make sure that you have at least a minimum of 8 people and no more than a maximum of 50 people. In addition to that, group admission, right, in order to get your discounted rate, you have to book at least 2 weeks in advance, right? So if you don't want the discount, you can just go ahead and show up on the day of your visit. The admission is $5 per student and $8 per adult. But if you go ahead and you book it online, you'll get a discount of about 20%. And then one other thing I just wanted to point out is that when you book group admission, that just includes visitation into our gallery space, right? You're not booking a tour. We do not offer any tours on here that you can book in advance, but we do offer tours on the day of, and those tours are courtesy of our volunteers. And if for some reason there's a volunteer that's not available, then you won't be able to have a tour on that day. But I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, all right, so you have your group of at least 8 people, no more than 50 people, and you know that you want to book at least 2 weeks in advance. How do you go ahead and book it? Well, let's go ahead and click on the book it. Okay, so now that we are at the book it site, you can see we've got group admission up here, which is definitely what you want. The green represents good availability, yellow would represent limited availability, and red means that the date has already been booked. One thing I want to do clear up, we do have some questions about this. You'll notice over here where it says NA, there actually is a color coded on here. It's a little hard to see. It's gray, and this represents all of these gray dates in here, right? So the museum is closed on Mondays, which means that that date is not available. The museum is closed on Sunday, which means that that day is not available. And then these other days during the week, like the 2nd or the 4th, right? You cannot book in advance on those particular days. So I just want to scoot forward to next month just so you can see what a limited availability looks like. So I'm going to click on March here, and you can see that on March 16th we have limited availability. All right, so I'm going to go back to February. So you pick any one of these particular days. Let's say the 18th. Okay, so I click on the 18th, and you'll see these are the scheduled times, right? So if you have a group and you want to ensure that your group will get admission when you arrive, you'd have to select these particular from one of these particular times. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to click on 10:30 a.m. So you click on 10:30 a.m. Here we are. We're still on group admission, step 3 of 5, and you need to put in the number of people that you want. Okay, remember the minimum is 8, but I'm just going to go ahead and put in 20 for the purposes of this here. So I just want to make sure that you see the reservation policies here, right? So we do provide a full refund within 7 days. Okay. We also require payment, right, for the time of the reservation, right, in order to make sure everybody's just first come, first serve. And then I just wanted to mention for educators, if you're part of a Title I program, you do still have to use a credit card in order to hold the date, but it will be refunded when you see verification of your group's Title I status. Okay, so we just go ahead and click all the that you understand the policies, and we'll click on next. Oh, there's only 15 available spots for this particular time, right? So this is kind of an interesting, right? So I can either go in and I can put 15 and I can hit next, or I can go back and I can choose another time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose another time. I want to make sure all 20 of my students can get in. All right, I could click on accept, and then I hit next, and then here we see here's the date, here's the time, group admission 20, proceed to checkout. Okay, now this is the part here where you would fill in all your school information, your personal information. And I'm going to leave this blank, and I'm just going to kind of skip over this for right now, and then I'll come right back. So hang on one second. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up kind of back where we were before, assuming you already have all your login information. Make sure we hit next. Here we are now at step 4 of 6, right? Here's where we put in for a total number of 20 people or 20 participants, and you can put their name and number if you want, or you can just kind of skip over it. All right, so I'm going to make sure I add to the basket before I go ahead and proceed, and I'm going to double check. This is the time, this is the date, this is a quantity. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to proceed to checkout. Okay, so now if you've already filled in all this information, right, you have your this particular site populated here, then you go ahead and click on the payment type. You do a credit card sale online here, okay, and then you would go ahead and you would hit next, and then it will give you, they will populate to the credit card payment processing. All right, so let me just go ahead and go forward here. Okay, so here's all the credit card billing information. If you want to go ahead and edit your credit card information, you go ahead and book all that in here. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed doing this. I guess I'll just go back and show you. So here's the basket here. If for any reason you wanted to go ahead and delete the reservation, right? Right, so I would go and view the basket here. So here's the viewing the basket right here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit delete on the reservation, right? And you can see that my basket now is completely empty, right? And then you could just go ahead and log out of your session. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for your interest in the museum. We look forward to having you soon. Bye-bye.